Okay, welcome back. In this video, we're going to be finishing up adjective clauses, and we'll be talking about chart 1311. In chart 1311, the title in the book is Reducing Adjective Clauses to Adjective Phrases. Now, a clearer and simpler way to say that might be making adjective clauses shorter, because that's essentially what we're doing here. So, let's take a look at how we do this. Take a look at this first sentence, please. I don't know the name of the professor who is teaching that class. Okay. Now, would you please take a minute and ask yourself, what is the adjective clause there? You can pause the video if you want a moment to think. Okay. The adjective clause is, if you thought it was who is teaching that class, you're absolutely right. This is an adjective clause, and it gives me some more information about the noun professor. Okay. How do I make this adjective clause shorter? Well, let's take a look at what we have here. Here I have be and who. If the adjective clause has the verb be in it, I can make it shorter. Let me show you how. The first thing I do is I get rid of the verb be, and I get rid of the who, or the which. So here, trying to find a place to work. If an adjective clause has the verb be in it, I can remove be plus who, which, or that. So here I remove who and I remove be, and what I'm left is I don't know the name of the professor teaching that class. It means exactly the same thing as I don't know the name of the professor who is teaching that class. So the meaning is the same. They're both perfectly correct. They're both equally correct, but one is just shorter than the other. So again, the rule is, if I have be, I can remove be, and I can remove who, which, or that. And then I get what's called an adjective phrase. It's like an adjective clause, but it's shorter. It doesn't have a verb or a subject. Now, take a look at this second one. The report that's on the desk was written by Alice. Okay? Please remember, if an adjective clause has the verb be in it, I can remove be and who, which, or that, and make the clause shorter. Take a look at this sentence here. The report that's on the desk was written by Alice. Again, please ask yourself, what is the adjective clause? Okay. If you said the adjective clause is that is on the desk, you are absolutely right. And then I say, okay, if an adjective clause has the verb be in it, I can remove be and who, which, or that. So let's take a look at this. I have that's on the desk. Do I have be? Yes, I do. Here, be is shortened to apostrophe s, but that's short for is, right? So I have be in this clause, and so I can remove be, and I can remove that who, which, or that, and I get a shorter version of the same idea. I can say, the report on the desk was written by Alice. The report on the desk was written by Alice. So the long way and the short way again mean the same thing. They're both perfectly correct. The report that is on the desk was written by Alice. The report on the desk was written by Alice. They mean the same thing. It's just one is shorter than the other. Okay. Now, one more example. Chabot College, which is located in Hayward, has about 14,000 students. Okay, Chabot College, which is located in Hayward, has about 14,000 students. I won't ask you to find the adjective clause here because I think it's pretty clear. It's right here, which is located in Hayward. Would you please take a minute and make this shorter? You can write it on a piece of paper. You can just say it aloud. You can think it in your mind, but make it shorter. If you're sitting next to someone, please tell them. And if you'd like to pause the video, you can hit pause and take a minute and think. Okay, now let's look at it. So again, if it has be in it, I can remove be and who, which, or that. So again, pretty fast and easy. I can remove be, I can remove which, and I get Chabot College, comma, located in Hayward, comma, has about 14,000 students. Again, both the long way and the short way are completely correct. Something you might want to notice is if the long way has a comma, the short way also has a comma. Now, there's one more thing I want to tell you about this before I erase it and show you one more thing. So, I can very often make an adjective clause, a longer adjective clause, shorter into what's called an adjective phrase. I can often do that, but there are some times when making it shorter sounds very strange to an American or to an English speaker. And to be honest, I've never been able to think of a good rule that would predict when it sounds funny and when it doesn't sound funny, when it sounds wrong and when it doesn't sound wrong. So here is my suggestion for this. Important thing to remember. You never have to do this. You never have to make an adjective clause shorter. You can always use the long way. It's never necessary to use the short way. So if you're not sure and you want to be safe, probably the best thing to do would be always write the long way, but if you know, what was I going to say? Oh, always write the long way, but if you see it, then you'll know what it means, okay? You can write the short way and experiment, and probably over time you'll get a feeling of when it sounds right and when it doesn't, and that's fine. But if you want to be safe, the long way is always good. Okay, I'm going to erase this and put up a couple more sentences on the board. Ah, can apply for extra help. John. Okay, now please take a look at these two sentences. Let's look at the first sentence. Students who need help because of COVID-19 can apply for help from the college. By the way, this is true, and I'm going to send out an announcement about that in probably today or well, it's getting kind of late tonight when I'm recording this, but probably tomorrow. Okay. Anyway, so this is true, and if you have a question about it, email me, text me. Actually, let me talk a little bit about it. The college can provide money up to $500 for students who are having problems because of the COVID-19 virus. Also, the college can provide computers, laptop computers, and hotspots, which will connect you to Wi-Fi. Again, for students who need those. So if you are having problems because of COVID-19 and or having problems continuing your classes because you need a computer, know that's available, and I will send out some more information about that. Okay? Now, let's look at the grammar of this sentence. Students who need help because of COVID-19 can apply for help from the college. Again, please take a second and find out and think, what is the adjective clause here? What is the adjective clause? Again, you can pause the video if you want a moment to think. And if you're sitting next to somebody, that's even better. Pause it, think, and then talk about it. All right. If you said, who need help because of COVID-19, you're absolutely right. The basic sentence is, students can apply for help from the college. And the adjective clause is, who need help because of COVID-19. Now, question about this is, can I make this shorter? Remember I just said, if the adjective clause contains be, I can make it shorter. So let's see if this has be. Students who need help because of COVID-19. And I say, well, what's the verb there? Need, right? So, no be. I've got need, but I don't have be. Can I make this shorter? Answer. There is a way. And so let me tell you what that is. The important word, the thing that is important here is, if the verb is a stative, or in other words, a non-action verb. Remember that the stative verbs or non-action verbs are the verbs that I normally don't use with be plus verb ing. And again, there's a list of those in your book on page 7 if you want to check those out. But remember, some verbs in English like need and love and want and like and hate usually do not use be plus verb ing. Those are called stative verbs or non-action verbs. Okay, so if the verb is a stative or a non-action verb, I can make the adjective clause shorter by 1, removing who, which, or that, and to, changing the verb to verb ing. So 2 steps. Remove that, who, which, and change the verb to verb ing. So let's take a look. So here I say students who need help because of COVID-19. So the first thing I can do is remove who. Second thing I do is I change the verb to verb ing. So I say needing. And I get students needing help because of COVID-19 can apply for help from the college. Again, it means the same as the long form, and they're both equally correct. Okay. Now, important thing to remember about this. This only works for, let me get a red marker or something to make it really clear. This only works for stative or non-action verbs. Okay? Only stative or non-action verbs. Other verbs it doesn't work for. So if it's a stative or non-action verb and there's no be, I can change it by getting rid of who and changing the verb to verb ing. Let's look at another example. John, who understood that COVID-19 was dangerous, decided to stay home. John, who understood that COVID-19 is dangerous, decided to stay home. Okay. Now, take a look at this sentence and please ask yourself, what is the adjective clause? Again, pause. Talk about it. And then when you're ready, you can start again. Okay. So, adjective clause here, if you said it was who understood COVID-19 was dangerous, good, you're right. Now, understand is a stative verb. Understand is one of the stative verbs. It appears on page 7 of your book. So, take a moment and ask yourself, how would I make this shorter? Please make it shorter, either on a piece of paper, or say it, or write it. And again, if you're sitting next to somebody, that's even better. You can talk to them about it and see what each of you thinks. How do I make this shorter? So remember the rule here. If a verb is a stative or a non-action verb, and understood is a non-action verb, I can make the adjective clause short. I can make the adjective clause AC shorter by 1, removing that, who, which, and 2, changing the verb to ing. So do that, please. You can pause the video. All right. So to come back, so I say, okay, understood? Yes, it is a non-action verb, so I can do this. Then I say, first step is I remove who, which, or that. So I get rid of who, okay? Then I change the verb to ing. And I say, John comma, understanding that COVID-19 was dangerous, comma, decided to stay home. Again, notice if the long way has the comma, the short way also has the comma. So, to sum up, to go over the points again, I can make an adjective clause shorter. I can often make an adjective clause shorter if it contains the verb be. The way that I do it is I get rid of the be and I get rid of who, which, that. The short form means the same as the long form, and they're both correct. I can also make it an adjective clause shorter if it has a stative or non-action verb. And the way that I make these ones shorter, even though they don't have be, but if it has, sorry, can't talk. if the verb is stative or non-action, even if there's no be, I can make it shorter. The way I can do it is I get rid of that, who, or which, and I change the verb to verb ing. And the other important thing that we learned is I never have to do this. Okay? Sometimes it does sound funny when I make it shorter. Again, I don't know of a good rule for that, but the long way is always correct if you want to be safe. And that's everything I want to tell you about that. Okay.